Hey, I'm attempting to vlog while lying down because I'm tired. But welcome to VEDA number 7. And I was going to do something like behind the scenes kind of stuff today. But like I said, I'm really tired, so I don't really want to film something right now. It might take a little while to get me going again. And by that time, I might forget to film a VEDA. So I'm doing it now, and the only thing that I have that's kind of relevant to talk about is a follow-up to the conversation that Caroline and I are having about handshakes. And I wasn't going to do another video about this, I was just going to comment about it. But then something just came up last night. So last night I went to dinner with my friend, and she swiped me at Cal Dining, and like in order to swipe me, I had to sit with her friends and socialize a little bit. So I met 3 new people that I had never met before. And the first time, her roommate came over, and my friend said, "Oh, this is Dana." I said, "Hi, I'm Dana." And the girl said, "Hi, I'm whatever." I forgot her name already. But I could tell by her body language and her looks that she was kind of like, "Oh, hi," and she was kind of like she was unsure if she should do a handshake or not. And I just assumed that it was a handshake because she said hello, but she seemed a little apprehensive of, are we going to do a handshake? Are you going to do a handshake? What's going to happen? And I didn't do the handshake because I just didn't do it, and I was interested in her reaction, and I was interested if she was going to do the handshake, but she didn't do it. But I have to say, she seemed apprehensive about it. And it wasn't because she's an apprehensive person, because afterwards, she was talking fine and asking me questions, and she was really friendly. So it couldn't have been that she was just shy. I think that she was doing that game kind of where you have to gauge, is this a handshaking person? Or should I be handshaking in this situation? I'm not sure. So the second person came, and she had a whole plate of food. So her hands were full, and we kind of said, "Oh, hey," and nothing happened then. But then the third girl came, and apparently she has graduated from school. I don't know how she still has swipe capabilities, or maybe they swiped her, but she's graduated, and she has a real job. Which is also if you had a real job, why would you still want to be eating this crappy food? I don't know. But, so she came over, and my friend again said, "Oh, this is Dana." Said, "Hi, I'm Dana." And she, right away, it wasn't even she didn't even have to think about it. She was just like, "Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah." And she shook my hand, and I shook her hand. And it was very successful. I'm going to adjust this. And it was very successful. It was a good interaction. And I don't know. I have to say this again, even though I already said it in the other video. But I feel like handshaking, at least for me, it alleviates any kind of tension there, especially if it's a good handshake, because that kind of physical connection to me just signals oh, we're both enthusiastic and excited to meet each other, as opposed to 2 new people meeting and just kind of having to make eye contact and saying, "Oh, nice to meet you." It just seems kind of awkward to me, and seems very ingenuine and very I hate to use these words, but it seems very immature and genuine, "Oh, I'm happy to meet you, but I'm actually just a little grumpy that I'm even having to interact with new people that my friends are forcing me to interact with." Everyone has been in that position before, where you're really tired and you're meeting someone that you don't necessarily want to meet. And when you meet them, you want to show, sometimes you kind of want to show that you're tired and you're not really into this, and you don't think that this is ever going to form a real relationship. So I'll never see you again, so I don't care what kind of first impression I make. Everyone is in that situation at some point. So sometimes it makes sense to just show up and kind of have that awkward interaction where you kind of say hi, but the other person, you're okay with the other person knowing that you're very unenthusiastic about it. And in some ways, you never want to be fake, right? When you're greeting someone, you never want to pretend like you're happy to see someone when you're not. just because in general, I don't think that you would want to be ingenuine like that. But I don't know. In most cases, handshaking, at least for me, is very relaxing and it's very nice. And it kind of it like proves to me that the person and I, if it's a good handshake, are having a genuine, like, interested interaction, if that makes sense. So I defend handshaking. I like handshaking, even though it might be thought of as like an old thing. I think for me, it's one of those old things that is actually an indication of more like genuineness, if that makes sense. Maybe now I just sound really old. It's like when old people are like, oh, you kids, you just stay on your phones all day now. And all of us get together, and when we get together, all we do is put our laptops in a circle and play League of Legends. That's so pathetic. Why don't you go out and do stuff? Like, in some ways, I really like doing that with you guys and just playing video games while we're all in the same room. But at the same time, sometimes I do like to go out and do things like go hiking and stuff. So it's kind of like, it's annoying to be told that that there are no real connections anymore. It's annoying as a young person to be told that by an adult. But in some ways, I do agree with that criticism, and I think that it does have some amount of truth in it. So in that same kind of thought process, I think that it is kind of annoying if you are genuinely not excited to see someone and you're told that you should shake their hand. I think that can be annoying, and I understand that. But for me, at least, like, I try to be a very friendly person, and most of the time when I do meet new people, it's very rare that I'm really tired and I don't want to meet them. So for me, having a handshake with someone and just doing that automatically without even having to think about it, that way, if you don't have to think about it, then you avoid that like awkward body motion where you're kind of, you can see the other person and they're kind of like it seems like there's something missing if you don't do a handshake when you greet someone. At least to me, it seems like that. So, and I think if I go on, then I'm just going to repeat myself. So, those are my kind of response thoughts or clarification thoughts. That's what I have to say. Maybe later I'll do behind the scenes. Happy VEDA number 7, and I'll see you guys later.